Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, there existed a magical meadow called the Enchanting Dell. This meadow was home to a group of mischievous little creatures known as the Meadow Makers. The Meadow Makers were tiny, no bigger than a ladybug, and had wings that shimmered with every color of the rainbow. They spent their days playing hide and seek among the tall grass, spreading laughter and joy wherever they went. One sunny morning, as the dew sparkled on the petals of the wildflowers, the Meadow Makers gathered together to plan their latest adventure. Their leader, a fearless little Meadow Maker named Poppy, had an idea that would take them beyond the meadow borders and into the mysterious dark forest. With a wave of her tiny wand, Poppy enchanted all the Meadow Makers, giving them the ability to grow big as a squirrel. They giggled with excitement as they flew over the meadow, their wings glistening in the sunlight. As they ventured into the dark forest, they encountered many strange creatures. First, they met a clever squirrel named Nutkin who helped them find their way. Then, they stumbled upon a mischievous raccoon named Rocky, who challenged them to a contest of acorns and giggles. The Meadow Makers played and laughed with each new friend they met, their magical energy spreading joy throughout the forest. But their adventure took a surprising turn when they stumbled upon an enormous spider web, glowing with a golden thread. "Oh no!" exclaimed Poppy. "We are trapped." But just as sadness began to fill their tiny hearts, out of the corner of their eyes, they spotted something extraordinary. It was a wise old owl named Oliver, perched on a branch above them. With a knowing smile, he swooped down and gently untangled them from the web. With renewed enthusiasm, the Meadow Makers continued on their journey. They encountered talking trees who whispered secrets, mischievous blue fairies who painted their wings, and even a friendly dragon who taught them to breathe fireflies. As the sun began to set and the stars appeared one by one in the night sky, the Meadow Makers came to the end of their adventure. They finally reached the great oak, the oldest tree in the dark forest, and perched on its branches. "Thank you, Poppy," said all the Meadow Makers, their tiny voices filled with gratitude. "We couldn't have asked for a more enchanted adventure." Poppy smiled, her heart overflowing with joy. She waved her wand once again, and with a flicker of light, they returned to their tiny size. Together, they flew back to the Enchanting Dell, where they danced and twirled, recounting their magical journey. From that day forward, the Meadow Makers continued to spread their mischief and joy throughout their meadow. And as for their adventure, it became the stuff of legends, whispered from one Meadow Maker to another, reminding them that the world is full of endless possibilities, waiting for them to explore. And so, in the meadows of enchantment, the Meadow Makers lived happily ever after. The end.